everyone. So today I'm going to explain the important topics and the questions that have been asked from block 1 of MMPC-009, management of machines and material. So what we are doing here is that we will look at the different important topics that has been asked from the MMPC 1 block 1, and we would be discussing the answers of those questions and what kind of questions have been particularly asked in that particular topic. Okay, so here we will take one topic and we will analyze the questions that has been associated with this particular topic in the previous year, and we will analyze the answer also. Okay, so welcome back to the channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and also share this video to your friends. Okay, so let's start. So, okay, the first topic is operations management. What is an operations management? So it belongs to the unit 1. So the topic that has been asked from the operation management is in December 2025, June 2024, December 2022, June 2022. So in these 4 years, it has been asked some question related to operations management. So it is very likely that in the coming exam also there would be a question related to operation management. Okay, so here I have taken the question from June 2021 to December 2025. So yeah, so we will discuss what is the definition of operation management, what is the value addition, and the conversion process. So let's start. Operation management is the design, operation, and improvement of the production systems that create the firm's primary products or services. So we know that a firm would be producing the its own products or maybe services. So operation management is the design, operation, and improvement of the production systems. Okay, that create the firm's primary product or services. Next thing, what is an operation? An operation is defined as the process of changing inputs into output and thereby adding the value to some entity. Okay, this constitutes the primary function of virtually every organization. So every organization is doing what? They are converting the input to output, and this output is having an added value. Okay, so that is an operation meaning. Uh, so here I'm discussing the thing that you should write in the answer sheet. You can elaborate as much as you want. So I'm just saying the important topics so that you don't miss the topics. Okay. So the next is ways of value is added to an entity. In 4 ways we can add the value to an entity. So how can we add the value to the entity? First one is alter. Second one we can transport. Third, store. Fourth one, inspect. So in alter, we change the form or state of inputs like physical, manufacturing, or psychological, like curing illness. So we change the state of the inputs, and the output state is different from the state of the input. So that is the alter. The next one is transport. So in transport, an entity gain value if located somewhere other than where it is currently. So one entity is transported to the other country, so it can be sold like we do the export and import. So that is the other way of adding the value, which is transport. Next one is store. Value enhanced by keeping the entity in a protected environment, like cold storage. Like what we do, we store the entity in a protected environment, so it can have a value. So that is store. Next one is inspect. So inspect, the value enriched through inspection for better decision making or about use or purchase. So these are the 4 values by which we can add the value to the product. So here we are discussing about what is operation management, its definition, and how we can add value to the product. So there are main 4 ways we can add value to the product. The first one is alter, second one transport, third one store, and fourth one inspect. Now we go for the productivity formula. What is productivity? It is the ratio of output by input. So productivity improves by maximizing useful outputs for a given input or minimizing input for a given output. Okay. So we can increase the efficiency by, yeah, so productivity improves by maximizing the useful outputs for a given input or minimizing the input for a given output. So reducing waste, which means wastivity, is a key route to productivity improvement. So as an exam tip, I have included December 2025 question number one asks you to draw and explain the framework of planning, organizing, and control in a production system. So always include the conceptual model diagram input, which is converted into output by a conversion process with a feedback loop and random fluctuations. So always include a diagram so we can score more marks. The next important topic is difference between services and a good production. So service means it is equal to a bundle of benefits. Some might be tangible and others might be intangible. Tangible means we can touch it, intangible means we cannot touch it. So which may or may not be accompanied by facilitating goods. So that is what a service called. So yeah, tangibility means, the service offered is intangible. Psychological benefits cannot drop on your feet. So goods equal to what? Physical or tangible. Like this is a comparison table between what is services and what is goods. Okay, in services, based on the tangibility factor, we can say that in services it is intangible. In goods, we can say that it is physical and it is tangible. Based on inventory, we can say that it is non-inventorable, like it cannot be produced. Uh, and also, we can say that in goods section, we can say that it can be stocked, stored, or counted or weighed based on the goods. Yeah, the next one is customer contact. So in customer contact, we have in intangible, sorry, in services, we know that it is high degree of human contact. Like in service sector, we always depend on the human contact. Like we need to be approachable to the humans to offer the services. So customer often participate in this service thing. But in goods section, it is very little. Maybe like in when the goods are there, there's that much contact is not needed. Like very little producer consumer contact would be there. In case of heterogeneity, like no two services are exactly alike, they are highly variable. But when we take in the good section, like there are products that are maybe very similar, or like there are standardized products too. In the base of simultaneity, we know that produced and consumed simultaneously. Like service is produced at the same time it's consumed in simultaneous. Okay. In goods section, we know that it is first the goods are first produced, then it is like distributed, then it is being consumed later. The next is labor intensity. Service sector is often highly labor intensive as we humans itself has to provide the service. But in goods sector, maybe it is like capital intensity because of the we need different machines for the production. Market reach. So limited to local market, local location dictated by the users. In case of goods, can be regional, national, or international. So in reversibility, can service be reversible? No. Once rendered, cannot be taken back. Example, like if you do the haircut, you cannot undo the haircut, right? But in products, if you purchase a product, you can return it or replace it. Okay. So in June 2022, question number one, and June 2024 indirectly test this. So focus on why productivity is harder to increase in services because of labor intensity, simultaneous production or consumption, and difficulty in standardization. Okay, so focus on these things. And the next topic is types of production system. In types of production system, this is very much important because in many question papers they have asked the difference between batch and mass and like in many question papers they have asked, and also like they might ask in long short answer also. Okay. Uh, yeah, in we can see the main material flow characteristics in mass flow line production is that the products are standardized in large volumes. We can remember by just remembering the word mass. Mass means it's a large thing, right? So the products are in large volume. Product layout, sequence of operations are there. Then there is a special purpose machine for producing each and every product. And the key problem is like line balancing, machine maintenance. So examples for the mass flow line production is that automobiles, pins, electronics, motors. Okay. Next thing is batch production. So in batch production, there is like variety of products in moderate loads. Like the volume is less when compared to the mass production, but there is like a lot of variety of products more than compared to the mass. In mass, like one typical type of product is produced in a large volume. So in batch production, the process layout is like general purpose machine is used. Like a single machine can be able to produce like different types of products. But in mass, maybe like one type only, the machine would be able to produce only one particular type. And in batch production, the complex scheduling, it just has complex scheduling and high WIP. And key problem is like economic batch quantity, the batch quantity and the quality, everything matters. And the scheduling. So example is like drugs, machine tools, printing and all. So next one is job shop production. So job production is that custom made, non-standardized product. Like according to the custom wants, we make it in custom made. So it is a wide range of general purpose machine, like different types of machines are used here. And it is small volume and has high complex flow. The key problems are dispatching priority rules, example SPT, example prototypes, and fixtures repair work. Okay. The next is unit manufacture or projects. In this, we know it's like unit manufacture. The product is fixed, manpower or facility moves to it. Time bound, it is time bound, it is unique, it is specific objective. It can only satisfy the specific objective. The next thing is managed using PERT or CPM that we have studied and network techniques. So, example ships, dams, power plants, construction, and all. So, actually, in December 2025, question number 3 asked the distinctive features of job production versus mass and batch. So, the key answer would be the job production is custom made, non repetitive, highly flexible, and uses general purpose machines arranged at one place. So, if you learn these 4 things, there might be different questions. Like either it would be asking what is the difference between mass and batch, and other would be asking like what is the difference between shop production, mass, and batch. Like you just study these all, then you can elaborately answer the question for 20 marks. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and like and share. Next thing is like strategic versus operational decisions. So what is the difference between strategic decisions and operation decision? So first we look at this, what is the definition of strategic decision? One which has a long-term impact, influences a large part of the system, and once implemented cannot be undone easily. So it is basically the strategy means once we how we form strategy, we form strategy for a long-term impact, right? And once we form the strategy, it impacts a larger part of the system. Okay, once the strategy is implemented, it is not that easy to undo the strategy that we have implemented. So that is the definition of strategic decision. And yeah, the one of features are product selection and planning. Like we decide what to produce in what form. In then process selection and planning. So we have decided what to produce. Now we have to decide how to produce and what kind of technology, equipment, sequence of operation that we should use. And where, like where facilities, location, like where should these particular products should be produced in. Like we should minimize the total production cost and distribution cost. The next thing is facilities layout and material handling. So in material handling and facilities layout, we should have the blueprint for material flow and the capacity planning, long-term expansion or contraction of facilities. So in operational decision, which includes it's basically we discuss what is an operation management there. it includes production planning, scheduling and control, inventory planning and control, quality assurance, work and job design. So maintenance and replacement, then cost reduction and control. The next unit we have completed one unit of the block one and the important topics. So we are going to the next unit, which is unit two, production selection and process selection. So the questions that have been asked multiple times in this question papers, previous year's question papers in December, June, December, in different years, you can see over here. And okay, what is product selection? How we should select? What are the main processes and stages in product selection? So in product selection, so the definition is product selection is a strategic decision consisting of what product is to be produced in what form and what features and what number. So based on that, we produce the products. So it's an ongoing process in an organization, in any organization, as environment changes and new technologies emerge, products must evolve. Like we cannot be producing the same products at any time. Maybe like when we take in the case of biscuits, like there were like simple like Parle-G biscuits that has been produced in the earlier times, but right now the Parle-G brand or the other brands have been producing multiple different types of biscuit because they need to increase the production and sales. They need to get more sales, so for that they need to adapt to the like the technology and the trend that is going in the market. So the product selection is a strategic decision of consisting of what product is to be produced in what form and what features and what number. So it is an ongoing process in any organization. As environment changes and new technologies emerge, products must evolve. So there are different stages of product selection process. So when we are selecting a particular product, these are the steps that need to be followed. First one is generation of output possibilities. So first we do the market research, like what the consumer surveys say, what is the dealer survey say. So based on we will have an idea, okay, what kind of product is like consumers asking for. And next one is research laboratories, R&D breakthroughs. Like, okay, now right now we know that okay, this consumer majority of the consumer needs this particular product. So we go for the research and development. In research and development, what we do is like if maybe like the company might be having a particular idea to implement based on the consumer's response. So in R&D, they might be like checking all the legal aspects, regulatory compliance, and if it is feasible, and if it is okay with the laws and going along with the laws and the regulatory compliances and creative techniques like brainstorming, panel discussion. Okay, these all have been in the first step, that is generation of output possibility. Next one is screening. So screening after we would be having number of product ideas after the generation of the output possibilities. Now we have to screen it. In screening, we match it with the corporate objectives and market viability. The third one is economic analysis. Determine probable profitability. How much the product would be profitable in this current economic situation, and how it is the cost benefit analysis for non-profits. That has to be decided. And the fourth step is development from concept to tangible entity. The first one is dancing and testing. Sorry, design and testing. Okay, sorry, design and testing. In design and testing, the final product, the design and the market testing is done. And the last one is commercialization, market launch. So the different stages of the product selection process. First, we do the generation of output possibilities based on the servers, research, and everything. We like brainstorming, and we come to an idea of different products, and we screen it. We screen it and match it against our vision, mission, and corporate objectives and all. And the third, we do the economic analysis. Like in this current economic situation, would there be profit for the company by producing this particular product, and would there be profit for the stakeholders? That all are evaluate. Based on all these three steps, we do the development. Okay, after development we do the design and testing. We should be testing it before it goes to the market, like if everything is okay, does it come satisfies all the complementary guidelines and all. Then after we do that, final step is commercialization. In commercialization, we do the market launch. We introduce the products to the consumers and consumers start to use it. So, in new idea mortality curve for chemical products, an average 50 ideas. Here we have giving an example for chemical products. We would be having an average of 50 ideas. From 50 ideas, we would be screening and selecting at 25. In after 25, we do the economic analysis. In by economic analysis, we would be selecting at least maybe 9 or 10, and we do the development. When we do the development, we understand, okay, some of them are not able to be developed in a proper way, so we eliminate them. Then we would be having the rest of 5, and then we do the design and testing. And after design and testing and a lot of testing, we would finalize in 3 of them. And after the launch, we would be getting one successful product. So it almost takes 6 years to commercialize. Like it's a typical range, so it's take us 6 years to commercialize. Next thing is producibility. Producibility, in the word itself, we know that it measures the ease and speed with which the output can be produced. Depends on specialized equipment, skills, tooling, and flexibility to switch production. So, as an example, you can use the talk about the factors that cause redesign plus computers CAD computer aided design usage. Causes of redesign are customer feedback, new materials, cost reduction, competitive pressure, technology changes, safety, legal requirements. Then CAD, like computer aided design, uses simulation, 3D modeling, rapid prototyping, engineering drawing. So that if we use a CAD, we doesn't have to manually do and test everything. The next very important topic is mass production versus batch production, which I said in the unit one also. It has been repeated in unit two. So this single topic has appeared in every exam from June 2022 to December 2025. So as you know that this has been repeated in every exam, so there's very high probability that would be asked in the exam that coming in 2 days. Okay, so mass production we have discussed in earlier. Mass production, also called flow or continuous production, refers to the manufacture of standardized products in large quantities through a continuous flow of operation. So we are manufacturing standardized products in large quantities through a continuous flow of operations. Machines are arranged in the sequence of operations. Output of one stage is the input to the next. Characteristics of mass operation, as we said, large volume output, goods produced in anticipation of demand, standardized product design and operation sequence, product or line layout, machines arranged by operation sequence, special purpose automatic machines, balanced machine capacity, no bottleneck, fixed path material handling equipment. So advantages of mass production are uniform quality through standardization, lower cost per unit as it's a mass production. Per unit, it might not be costing that much. So high productivity, continuous output, reduced material handling, simplified production control, quick return on capital investment. So for your understanding, mass production means we produce a single product in a large volume using different kinds of machine, but the machines are put in line according to the process, and yeah, there is high productivity and continuous output. So the major disadvantages of mass production include lack of flexibility, like there is no product variety. The next one is high initial capital investment because of the different cost of the equipments. and the facility, we need to have a large initial capital investment. Then the breakdown of one machine stops the entire line. As I said, like different machines are put in line for the complete production in mass production. So when one machine breaks down, the entire process fails. So it is monotonous, repetitive work for workers as there is no variety included. Then it is unsuitable for customized or varied products. Next is batch production. So, what is batch production? Batch production is the manufacture of a product in small or large batches or lots of intervals by a series of operations. So, each operation being carried out on the whole batch before any subsequent operation is performed. Okay. Characteristics of the batch operation are large variety of products manufactured in lots. The next characteristics is general purpose machine. It is flexible. The third one is variable part material handling equipment, high work in progress inventory, and the last one is complex scheduling and sequencing. So the major advantages of the batch production are greater flexibility for product variety, lower capital investment is needed, general purpose machine can be used, better machine utilization across products, suitable for seasonal or fluctuating demand. As the demand fluctuates, we might be needed to produce different products. For as it is a general purpose machine, we can use this particular machine and it is cost effective. Then yeah, easier product modification between batches. So in between batches, if you want to do a modification, we can do it in a very easy way. The next disadvantages of batch production are it is a high work in progress inventory. The next one is complex scheduling requirements, frequent machine setup changes, increased material handling costs, longer production time, idle time between operations. So the conditions under which the batch production is specified. These are the condition when the demand is moderate. That's like there is no large amount demand. We can use the batch production. Product variety is high. Like we need different types of product. So the customers need it in different specification, then we can use the batch. If there is a seasonal demand, if there is a frequent design changes needed, and the capital is limited, then we can go for the batch production. So these are the comparison table of the mass and batch production. You can go through it as I have said it earlier. Like the production volume is high in mass, moderate in batch. Product variety here it is very low as it is a standardized products we are using. Here it is high, so you can go through it. We have discussed everything. The examples for the batch production would be mass production would be cars, bottle, pins, electronics, and all. For batch production, it would be drugs, machine, tools, printing, etc. Okay, right now I'm stopping the video here because it might be very long, and I will upload the part two of the block one as it is becoming very lengthy. Okay. So thank you once again. Please do refer the next part video for the further discussion of the block one.